Well, today marks the 40th anniversary of the Soweto uprisings, fondly known as Youth Day. The 16th of June 1976 changed many lives, rewrote history, and forever lives in many people's hearts. School-going pupils in Soweto decided to take a stand against Afrikaans as a medium of teaching and learning, as had been implemented by the apartheid government. Majority of high schools around Soweto organised to march to Orlando Stadium that morning, and they started converging and moving along the township from as early as 7 o'clock. When the huge group of learners reached Orlando Township, police confronted them, but they would not be deterred from their call. Police began by firing tear gas to the group and soon fired a gunshot. 14-year-old Hastings Ndlovu was the first victim to be shot and killed by police on that historic day. His legacy in the fight for freedom will today be honoured by officially renaming of a street in Orlando West to his name, just a stone throw away from Hector Peterson Memorial. Later today, the President Jacob Zuma will officiate the main commemoration event of June 16 at the iconic Orlando Stadium, set to be packed with learners from across the country. Well, earlier this week, in the New Age Business Brief, Hector Peterson's sister recounted the events of that fateful day. The teachers from 1976 also shared their experiences. The briefing focused on the significance of the 40th anniversary of the 1976 Soweto student uprising. ANN7's Tabisita Madisa was there.
It was yesterday once more. Memories of the fateful day of June 16, 1976 came back flooding as Hector Peterson's sister shared what she still remembers. She says students were very excited that day.
Obviously we were excited, because yes, we did not want to learn in the medium of Afrikaans, so I for one, I felt like I should be part of the demonstration, because obviously, can you imagine doing mathematics in Afrikaans? I remember we used to say, "Yen malana felnach yen is yen," It really tata. So I felt like no, I should be part of that, And besides, we did not like Afrikaans so much because we were ruled by Afrikaners, We just felt like, yes, we understand that we are oppressed, but why should we really learn in our oppressor's language?
It was not just a student uprising. Teachers too played a vital role. A former science teacher at Morris Isaacson High School recounts the agony and the efforts.
Protests started way back before 1976, in the 50s, in the 60s. In the East Rand and in Orlando West and Orlando East. I mentioned a number of teachers who were involved, like Zikum Patlele, Dade Mutuping, and Ike Matlari and others who ended up being fired from education. In the East Rand there were a lot of them, and in the Eastern Cape there were a lot of them. But then towards the 70s, they emerged the South African Student Organization and later on the Black People's Convention, which were determined to make black people conscious of their situation and make black people conscious that they are responsible for their own liberation. But they have to liberate themselves first in their minds and then physically.
A class of 76 argues that June 16, 1976 was just about fighting against Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. It was more about the right to a better education.
Well, at the heart of the protests of June 1976 was a yearning for better quality of education beyond just the language. It was a yearning for better school facilities, sporting facilities in schools. It was a yearning for high quality teachers who were teaching in those schools. It was also a yearning for national self-determination by South Africans It was a yearning for African identity. It was a yearning to end white domination.
As concluding remarks, the briefing observed that the objective of the 1976 uprising was to evoke black consciousness. However, the participants agreed that liberation has to first start in the minds. Tabisiza Madisa, ANN7, Johannesburg.
In this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intended to bring into existence,